I would say the lesson that I get taught over and over again is be vulnerable, over communicate, and just say what you feel. It's the first time I've ever given that answer. But the more I'm in business, I realize the only time that there's a little stress or something I got to deal with or something, and of course I have 300 employees, 400 employees that I'm responsible for. There's stuff that happens, right? A lot of times it'll equate back to lack of communication, lack of transparency, or was too busy to share.
Hi everybody, this is Carolina Millan, and today I have a very, very special podcast episode, which, well, this doesn't happen a lot. I don't get to do a lot of in-person interviews.
I know, I like it. This is great.
This is great. When you live in Chile and your guests are around the world, it's a little difficult. But Mr. Graziosi, good friend of mine, amazing mentor, somebody that I look up to so much, is here today, and I'm so honored to be here in your
Well, it's
studio.
good to be with you. I was just saying, before we get started, if you follow this woman, you already know this. But I was just telling her, so many people love her in our industry because you have such a kind heart. You care about your clients. She cares about you more than you know. The reason she comes to events like the event we just had here and the event you were at 2 days ago is to learn more skills, to deliver more value, to impact more lives. And yeah, I don't know, we've known each other for probably 5 years, 6 years.
In person? Yeah, it's been longer.
Longer, yeah.
2017.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
8 years, 8 years. And I have to say, wherever this woman goes, people love and adore you. So it's a pleasure to be here with you all.
Thank you so much.
And I would do this interview in Spanish, but I'm not quite there yet. My wife's first language is Spanish. My kids speak Spanish. Everybody in my household, my in-laws, so I need to step up my game.
Let's give it a couple more years. You got it. So, Dean, I'm so grateful to be here today. Now, we're going to talk about something that we're both very passionate about, and that is the knowledge industry. So, my first question to you is, what inspired you to get into this industry, and how was it back then? I know it's been decades. How was it back then? And do you think today, is it harder or easier than it was for you?
Yeah, great question. Okay, so I guess it's easier to look backwards, right? to think, it's easier to see why.
Yeah.
But the reason I got in this industry is because I bought Tony Robbins' program off of an infomercial 28 years ago. And it had a profound effect on me, meaning that the information that I was listening to helped shift my life, right? Made me realize that life happens for us, not to us, and I could change my story, change my life, right? All these great things. And I was like, wow, information impacted me so much. And then the second thought I had was, wow, I have some things that might be valuable to other people. Yeah. I didn't have money as a kid, and I got into real estate and a bunch of stuff, and I was doing well for myself. And I just thought about the concept, and maybe you could think about it for a second, is there's a lot of things you can sell. There's a lot of things you can do. But Tony empowered me to go faster, and I gave him money. And I just thought to myself, wow, I can help people get from A to B or A to Z quicker, condensed time, and I can get paid to do it. I had no idea what I was doing. Completely clueless. There was no online, literally, the online world didn't exist yet. There wasn't a lot of people training it. There wasn't books on it. I just modeled what Tony did. And was it harder? You really got to hear this one. So the reason I got in it is because I wanted to impact other people's lives. Basically, I wanted to have purpose. I don't know, maybe watching right now, wouldn't you love to have something that's purpose-driven? It gets you excited to wake up every day. Well, simultaneously, it doesn't have a glass ceiling. You could go as high as you want. It's not like working in a career where you hit your limit, right? So those two things combined, purpose, impact, the chance to make as much money as I could, that's why I went in it. It was up and down. I had to figure it out, and luckily I did.
You did.
And got some great momentum. And then years ago, the man who helped shift my life became my dearest friend for the last 12 years. We've done some amazing things together. And him and I, Tony Robbins, he's been in it for 45 years, me for 30, almost 30. And we laugh all the time. We joke and maybe it'll land in Spanish better. My wife says it all the time. This doesn't work in English. She's like, hey, I got to say it in Spanish. But we joke that when we started, we had to walk uphill in the snow both ways.
Yeah.
You know, and is now a good time? Absolutely. This industry that used to be this little niche thing on the side is over $1 billion a day right now, headed towards $1 trillion a year by 2027, because people are realizing I could learn on my own, I could go back to school, I could not do it at all, or I could find somebody like Carolina who's done it before me and is willing to share to allow me to go faster.
Right.
This industry is growing, and the fact of the matter is, you might not believe it as you're watching this, but you have a life experience, a skill, an expertise, a passion that someone else right now needs to hear, wants to hear, and would pay you for that knowledge if you knew how to do it.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I love so much about this industry. Like, it's wonderful being able to live from our experiences, from the things that we love, what we're passionate about, and helping others.
I mean, think about this weekend.
Yeah.
Right? You were here this weekend.
I was here this weekend.
Last week, you were at Russell's event. You were at an
Yes,
event.
I was.
You learned all of that. You cut checks to be there.
Yes, I did.
Right? You had to fly on a plane, you had to pay for your travel, pay
Yeah.
for hotel, pay for
Yeah.
the events.
Yeah.
Right? This event, you're a dear friend and you're here as my guest, but it's a $25,000 event. Right? So you're cutting checks to learn new skills. You take them home, you work it out, you test it, you try it, and then you share it with your people.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, who wouldn't want to cut a check to learn what you have, because it allows me to go faster. You did it, they could do it. It's truly where the world is going.
100%. 100%. Now, I would love to know, for the people listening or watching, what are 3, maybe 5 things that anyone who wants to live from their knowledge, anybody who wants to turn this into a career, can start doing right now?
So the first thing is trying to think, where could the knowledge come from, right? Because most people will say, well, I don't know what I would teach, or nobody would buy from me. And maybe you're far beyond that. If you follow this amazing woman, maybe you're past that, but I'm going to share anyway. Think about this. You either have a career skill. Think about your career. Whatever you've done for a living, you had to figure out how to do that thing, whatever it is. There's somebody else starting day one in that career. And you might have been in it for 3 years, 13 years, 30 years. And you had to fail, succeed. And in that career or in that business, you discovered core competencies, you found intuition, you found wisdom, and somebody else is starting on day one. So could you take that skill that you learned through your career and allow people that were you of a year ago or 5 or 10 years ago, could you allow them to go faster? There's so many things in your personal life that we go through that are very difficult. But when we're on the other side, somebody else is starting off on day one of trying to eat healthier, day one of exercising, day one of trying meditation or yoga, day one of the divorce, or day one of finding themselves again. You're on the other side. You could collapse that time by creating something for them to go faster. Or third is something you're really passionate about. People sometimes have spent years figuring something out that they're passionate about. There's other people that would like to know that passion quicker. So I always say, when people say I'm not sure what I'd share, I say, first off, if you had to choose right this very minute, would you choose a career skill, a personal experience, or a passion? And when I ask that, people go, oh, the career skill. Oh no, I got a passion I want to share. So that starts off. Now we just got to unpackage, how do you help people go faster to uncover that?
Absolutely. So once you figure that out, what do you think is the next step somebody should take? Like, okay, I'm going to go with my passion. What do you think they should do right away?
I think, well, the first thing is, then I would look into your personality on how you would like to deliver it. Like, I've just been sharing this so long that and I hope I'm doing a good job for you. I try to chunk it in a way where you go, I don't know what I'd offer. And you go, oh, I would do a personal experience. Great, check. That's the one thing. Now you might go, well, how do I get it to people? Well, the next thing I think about is, how would you like to deliver it? Would you like to film it once on your phone, right? Get a nice light behind you, lay it out. You know, that's a longer conversation. In today's world, we have AI that can help you lay out the whole course in moments. But would you like to film it once and create a course that people could, it's almost like a book on audio, right? You've listened to a book on audio, so you might say, hey, I'd like to film it That would make me comfortable. Film it once and then have the chance to sell it over and over again. So maybe a course would be for you. Or you go, no, I don't like film. I don't like to be on camera. I like that personal one-on-one.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to coach. Maybe you want to lay out a six curriculum, 6-set curriculum where we have 6 different trainings or 12 different trainings. Again, using AI and your belief and your story and your history. And you can lay out 6 different things that you could train over 6 weeks, 6 months. You go, I think I want to be a coach. Or maybe you like groups that we just did. And you go, I don't really want to do one-on-one. That's not me. I don't really want to build a course. But I would love to put 20 people on a Zoom room and help them once a year, once a month, once a week. Or I like proximity. I'm going to invite them all to my house. I'm going to invite them all to the hotel down the street. So I guess the second thing I'd ask you is, just from that quick little thought, would you think about filming a course? Sometimes a course is good because you do it once and you could sell it over and over again and you can make it low cost for other people. Would you like to watch the transformation and do one-on-one Zoom calls? Or would you like to put a group of people together where everybody's getting smarter? So I would say choose one if you had to. Even if you're not there, if you had to. And just think how far we've come. You probably picked what you would share and already picked what you would deliver.
Yeah.
Now we just gotta help people. That's why Tony and I do events, and the things we do is to show people how to put that in place, how to get people to say yes, how to sell through service so you're not knocking on doors, you're selling through service and attraction rather than pulling.
Absolutely. Yeah. So talking about the event, I mean, I have a couple more questions, but before we move on to those, you just mentioned, Tony, and you're doing an event. Can you tell us a little bit more about it? And of course, what's it like working so closely with Tony Robbins, and what's the event going to be?
So first off, working with Tony is awesome. It's what you think it would be. It's pretty cool.
It's what I think, or even better than what I think.
Yeah, exactly. It's good because he motivates me. He pushes me, and he does a lot for humankind that most people don't know.
Yeah.
From the amount of money he donates and the things he does. I mean,
Yeah.
so the cool part is about 10 years ago we were on a golf course, eight years ago, and he said, if we were going to do a business together, what would we do? And we really thought about this industry. If it wasn't for Jim Rohn, who sold his knowledge to Tony, and if it wasn't for Tony, who sold his knowledge to me, we both said, we don't know where we'd be, so why don't we help people? Why don't we help people? We've been in this 70 plus years. Why don't we help people know how to identify what to sell, how to extract it, how to deliver it, how to market it, how to get people to say yes, how to turn it into a real business. And we launched Mastermind as a company, and it's been a movement since day one. And once a year, and we just talked 2 nights, this might be the last one, and that's not, it might be. Because it's a lot to put on.
I can imagine.
Right? But once a year we go live for 3 days, and in 3 days, about 2.5 hours a day, we pull back the curtain. What I just shared in moments, we do over about 3 hours a day, where we show you how to identify that asset that's in here, how to package it, how to deliver it. Day 2, we talk about getting people to say yes. Where do you get your first sale, your next sale, consistent sales? How does the business model actually work? How does it fit into your life?
Yeah.
How do you become the expert, and then how do you make it a real business? And we do that in 3 days. And we average about 800,000 people in the last, 7 events. And we do it for free. And we hope you get to join us.
Yeah, I love that. So go to the link breakthrough20.com and you can register. It's free, right?
Yes, it's free, completely free.
Yeah, it's amazing. And they go hard. I mean,
Yeah, we do
they
go
charge.
hard. And we got some great guests coming, but we obsess on we call it our syntax or our run of show. We obsess on each moment of each day that carries you along, right? When you show up, you go, I'm not even sure why I'm here. We want to make it where you go, wow, this is for me. I could do this. Wow, this is how. And we're going to have breakthroughs. We're also going to release something we've never shared before that's going to blow your mind.
Ooh, I'm excited.
We created an AI. We've been working on it for a couple of years now that thinks like Tony and I. But this year it went to a whole nother level. It's beyond anything anyone could ever imagine. It's gonna to blow your hair back.
I'm excited. Now, I would love to know if you can think of a recent failure or a few years ago, whenever, that you experienced in your business. It could be in your life or anything. And what is a lesson that you learned from it?
I would say the lesson that I get taught over and over again is be vulnerable, over communicate, and just say what you feel. It's the first time I've ever given that answer. But the more I'm in business, I realize the only time that there's a little stress or something I got to deal with or something, and of course I have 300 employees, 400 employees that I'm responsible for. There's stuff that happens, right? A lot of times it'll equate back to lack of communication, lack of transparency, or was too busy to share, or maybe I didn't want to be vulnerable. And it boils down a lot to, if I would have just spoken more, or the people I'm solving the problem for, if they would have communicated, it never would have got to that. If they were vulnerable and actually told the truth instead of kind of posing and like, I don't want to tell this because it might feel vulnerable, I got to make up. Like, no, I'm telling you the truth, vulnerable, open communication.
And finally, let's invite people again. You want to
invite
them to the event?
We're going to do 3 days. It starts on May 15th. It's about 2.5, 3 hours a day. And over those 3 days, I promise you, you will leave not only inspired, but you'll leave realizing that your life experience is probably the greatest asset you own. You don't have to air condition it, you don't have to ship it, you don't have to warehouse it, you don't have to pay for it, but it is beyond valuable once you understand how to do it. And I promise you, in those 3 days, we're going to show you how to condense time. We're going to unveil something we've been working on for a year that's going to make it all easier to do, stop the overwhelm, get you off the blank page. It's going to be a blast. We hope you join us. What is the link again?
I love it. Breakthrough20.com. So go ahead. The link is going to be in the description anyway. It's going to show up on the screen all over the place. Get signed up. And Dean, thank you so much.
You got it. Thank you.
Friendship and everything.
I appreciate you so much.
Love you so much.
Thanks, everybody.